to our on-site laboratory, and we can run through the diagnostics of that and make sure the whales are as healthy as possible. Now it does look like the plan has changed a little bit. We're going to do a different type of session today for right now, which is called an exercise session. Now this is also related to the health and well-being of these amazing animals, because just like you and I, they do not have to hunt for their food. Now, our ancestors back in the day were hunter-gatherers. We had to worry every single day about how we were going to get our food, and we had to work to get that. Whereas today, most of us sit down while we're at work. So just like that, these killer whales, unlike all day, no matter what happens throughout the day, even if they choose not to participate, they're still going to get their entirety of their food. So exercise sessions is a way for us to make sure that they get their blood moving and keep those muscles nice and strong. So if you look across the pool, you see Danny over there with a long pole, kind of looks like a Q-tip, has a bead on the end. That is called a target pole. And here come the girls. Now she's going to tap the water just like Naylin did here on this side. Slight splash warning behind me right along this fence line. There might be a little bit of a splash coming our way, but a fabulous picture. Here they come in 3, 2, 1. Now, as I was saying, that target pole can be used to tap the surface of the water, simply to let the whales know exactly where we would like for them to do each and every behavior. Now, killer whales can't actually hear the sound of our voice, so you'll notice that we use hand signals to ask them to do each behavior, and tapping on the surface of the water is another way that we can communicate exactly what we're hoping them to do and where we're hoping to do it. So get those cameras ready once again in 3, 2, and 1. Now, it looks like they're going to do it on the other side of the pool, so look over across the way to that target tap. Now, another important aspect of this behavior is team contingency. So we're not only expecting them to come straight out of the water and throw water forward, but we're expecting them to do it all together at the exact same time. So you'll watch, here they come once again to this side, get those cameras ready and watch out for that splash warning. They're gonna come up and out of the water in 3, 2, and 1. Now you might, if you listen closely, have heard at the peak of that throw, a whistle. That is another way that we communicate with these animals, and that is simply a bridge, letting them know that's exactly what we were looking for. We can come on back for some reinforcement. Now, reinforcement can mean a variety of different things. It's so important to build a relationship with these animals so that we know exactly what they find reinforcing. So, of course, first and foremost, fish is one of our ways to primarily reinforce these amazing animals. It is something that they do need to survive and is intrinsically motivating. So of course, when they come back, we can give them a giant handful of fish. However, we also have secondary reinforcement, and that can look like a lot of different things. It's basically anything that they enjoy. So that can be ice cubes, which is a win-win since they enjoy it and it helps keep them hydrated. It could be sugarless jello, which is the same. Or it could be their favorite toy, their favorite pool, or even another whale that they enjoy being with. So building those relationships with the killer whales and getting to know them and their favorite aspects is very helpful so that we can provide them that reinforcement as they do a successful behavior. Now this next behavior they're going to do is a natural behavior as well, and killer whales out in the ocean will do this when hunting sardines. They'll actually flick their tail forward, stunning the fish into a bait ball. And once that happens, they can actually swim through that cloud of fish with their mouth open and get plenty of those fish very easily and not having to hunt for them because they'll be stunned. Now you'll notice that they didn't all come up at the exact same time. So this is a great opportunity. You can see what happens when they get something wrong. You might have missed it. It's actually nothing. We simply pause for a moment and move on. And that's called a least reinforcing scenario. Capelin and sardines, and sometimes they also get squid. Now, every single day, we make sure that we get them all of their food that is prescribed by our veterinarians. And every single time that we get a new batch of food, we test it to make sure that the calorie count in each fish is the same. because a herring from this season might have a different caloric value than a herring from last season, and we want to make sure that they're not getting a set number of fish every day, but their set number of needed calories to keep them as healthy as possible. So we'll make sure that each and every batch is tested and analyzed to make sure that the calorie count is the same, and we can continue to make sure they have their optimum number of calories each and every day, no matter what. Now, these three girls do live here together. Like I said before, Takara is our matriarch, which means that she is in charge. Killer whales are a matriarchal society, always led by a female, and that female is Takara. Now, Takara is weighing in at about 4,600 pounds, so she is about half the size of our largest killer whale, Kayuket, who is over in the pool on the other side. Now, even though Kayuket has twice the weight on her, she is still in charge because it's all about the attitude, not the size for killer whales. As I said before, this entire area is open. If you do want to wander around, we do have 3 different pools over here. We do ask that at all times you keep all hands, arms, cameras, and children on your side of that fence line, as we do want to keep our whales and you as safe as possible. And although there are some strings along that fence line, we ask that all 2 feet stay firmly planted on the ground at all times, because those wires do have a tendency to not be super strong. We don't want them to break on anyone today. Now it looks like we are wrapping up our session over here with our females, but don't worry, this area is open from 3 o'clock all the way to 4 o'clock. You guys can come and go as you please.